We're gonna hold that line. Oh, Mac and Crowder, gonna hunt the hunter down.
Hi there, I'm Dustin Warnke. Today I'm recording from my office just because I didn't feel like setting up my whole studio for this segment, but we're going to talk about rifle ammunition and hunting and what to expect as you prepare for hunting season. So it's the summer when I'm filming this. I'm getting ready to start my busiest time of the year, which revolves around the school year for my day job. And, you know, hunting season certainly is important to me, but it kind of comes secondary to getting all that stuff prepped. So what I'm trying to do this summer is going out to the range, checking my gear, making sure my guns are on, making sure I'm well stockpiled on ammunition. And I had a question from a guy that I'm mentoring, just graduated high school. He is absolutely psyched out about getting into hunting and shooting, and just bought his first shotgun, looking to buy his first rifle, and has kind of taken advice from me. And he asked me a question the other day. He said, you know what? What do I need to do when it comes to finding the right pattern for this shotgun? And I said, find you several different loads of ammunition, Winchester and Remington and Federal, and there's so many different ones out there. Shoot that shotgun and get the tightest pattern. That's what you need to go for. And I did a whole video on patterning a shotgun, as a matter of fact. Well, let's talk real quick about rifles and handguns and those kind of things that you're going to be shooting a bullet through. The same concept applies. You want to, if you have a new rifle or if you've got a used rifle that came with some ammunition, you want to go out and find where the sweet spot is for that rifle or that pistol or whatever you're going to be shooting. And one of the things that I've done is I shot Winchester ammunition in my Remington 742-308 forever, and I ended up switching to going to reloads because I found a really, really good reload. This is a Hornady Brass Match, which is awesome, awesome brass if you're a reloader. And I picked this up at the range, brought it to my guy that does my reloading. I don't do any of my own reloading just because I don't have the equipment and the time to do it, but he does a lot of it, and I just gave him my recipe of what I wanted in powder and grains and so on and so forth, and he came up with this. And he reloaded a lot of brass for me and just regular brass ammunition, but then he started reloading some of these, which are 308 Hornady Match rounds. They may fire differently though, even though they're pushing the same bullet, and that bullet is a 165 grain Sierra Game King, which is an incredible hunting round, and this is what I mainly use for my deer and bigger game hunting, is this 165 grain 308 Sierra Game King. So the one thing that I want to keep in mind is it may be better brass, but I may have a different point of impact by shooting it compared to shooting the regular reloads that he's done for me in regular brass, because this case is nickel plated. Now you may think, well, the brass should not make that big of a difference. It can, it absolutely can, and it has in that particular 308 before with other brass that I have shot. So you want to keep in mind, whether you're reloading, whether you're buying commercial ammunition, try several different recipes of reloads if you're into reloading, or several different brands of ammunition to find what's going to group the best and what's going to give you the best point of impact time after time, and make sure to hunt with that ammunition. One thing that I teach to bow hunters is to make sure that you practice with your broadheads or practice broadheads before the season starts, so you know exactly, especially if you're shooting a fixed blade head that's not going to fly like a field point does, making sure that you're actually hunting the way that you're going, or shooting the way that you're going to hunt. That's very, very important. The same concept applies to rifles and handguns and so on and so forth. It boggles my mind how many folks I run into who have no idea what's going on, and you know why they missed a big elk or a big mule deer or a big whitetail buck, because they ran low on ammunition, rushed to the store, grabbed a box of whatever they could find on the shelf at Walmart or you know the hardware store or wherever they could get to, and they're wondering, well, why did I miss? Well, go shoot your gun with that ammunition and you tell me. I've shot ammunition in some of my guns that has been off the paper compared, or well off of target, well off of the bullseye, where other ammunition that I'm used to shooting, you know, dots right in. So you want to make sure you find the recipe of ammunition to the gun that you have that's going to be perfect for your accuracy and point of impact time after time. Stockpile that ammunition and you'll be in good shape. Hunt with what you shoot and shoot with what you hunt. Very important. But that is something that I see a lot of rookie hunters especially making that mistake over and over again, is just buying whatever and just grabbing whatever off of the shelf and not giving any kind of consistency into that. This is the time of year, the summer months, the times of spring, whenever you're preparing for hunting season, this is the time of year to start making those adjustments and start making those purchases. Just recently in my Mosey Nagants, which I have 5 of, I had to switch from Silver Bear because I couldn't find the ammunition with the recent ammunition crisis at the time that I filmed this. Not really a crisis so much as just, you know, there's a lot of ammunition that's not available at this time. And I could not find Silver Bear. That is my main ammunition I've used for years for hunting big game with my Mosey Nagants. So I had to switch to Brown Bear. Silver Bear has a zinc plated case, which is kind of like this nickel plated case here. And it probably has a different point of impact than a lacquer case. Even though they're both steel-cased ammunition, even though they're both, you know, built by the same manufacturers, same grain weight, and so on and so forth, I've got to make sure I'm on target with my gun before I go hunting. So I'm going to take it out one more time to the range before I make any major adjustments to anything and make sure that the Brown Bear shoots as well as the Silver Bear does. I just bought 40 rounds of Brown Bear the other day just to kind of stockpile for hunting season. Keep in mind, you want to shoot soft point and not full metal jacket. You can practice with full metal jacket all day long. Try to practice with the same grain weight and same brand of what you actually hunt with. For instance, one of the manufacturers out here in our local sporting goods store is Monarch. They make Russian or Yugoslavian, some kind of foreign ammunition. And you can buy that stuff a lot cheaper than you can the American-made ammunition, but I'm never going to hunt with FMJ or full metal jacket. It'll go straight through an animal unless you're dealing with very small game. I know some people hunt coyotes and so on and so forth with a full metal jacket round, but it's not necessarily the best idea in the world. So you want to make sure you hunt with the soft point ammunition and only use FMJ ammunition for target practice, trigger control, accuracy, so on and so forth. But you want to absolutely make sure that whatever you're doing, you want to make sure you are hunting with the ammunition that you shoot and shooting with the ammunition that you hunt at the end of the day. If you want to practice with full metal jacket, which I do sometimes, you certainly can, but keep in mind that it's going to potentially shoot differently than your soft point. Even if it's by the same manufacturer, you want to make sure your last rounds that you fire at the range before you go out to the hunting field are your hunting ammunition, so you know that that gun is on target. Don't deviate from that, don't switch from that unless you absolutely know that that ammunition is going to make the same point of impact as the other ammunition. Thank you so much again for tuning in today to this Tech Tip segment. I'm Dustin Warnke. Check out our website at dustinsprojects.com for information and videos on me, and our TV show website, and all of our links and everything else are there at the end of this video. Thank you so much again for tuning in.
That's a pretty hard lesson if you're gonna survive. Thank you, Smith & Wesson. Lord, I'm still alive. Gonna save the game, one predator at a time. God, guns, and country, we're gonna hold that line. Hold that